This right here is a late 2013 21.5-inch iMac, and even though it's a decade old, I believe this is one of the best-selling computers of the past year. And I think it all has to start to do with the 2009 to 2011 Apple iMacs. So the 2009 to 2011 Apple iMacs were some of Apple's best-selling iMacs. You could find them pretty much anywhere. People had them in their homes, people had them in their basement, your neighbors probably had them, you've probably seen this too at your friend's house. It was a very common computer because it was a very good computer for doing things people just needed it to do. But recently though, the people who have owned these computers have came across a hurdle, and that is now in order to run one of the biggest softwares out there, Google Chrome, you need to have a Mac that can run macOS Catalina or later. Originally, Chrome could support macOS High Sierra, but because they don't support that now, all the people who had those 2011, 2010, 2009 iMacs, they are now forced to upgrade to a newer computer. And you know what computer was within that like $150, $100 range, and that you could find quite a lot of out there? The late 2013 21.5-inch iMac. Now, it's not just Google who has dropped support for those computers. Minecraft now requires macOS Mojave and later to run. Microsoft 365 requires the 3 most recent versions of macOS. And a lot of Mac App Store apps now require macOS Big Sur or macOS Monterey in order to run. And I try to wonder too, like, why do developers stop supporting these computers? Well, the first main thing has to deal with time. If you have to make sure that your program runs on all these computer models, and especially computers that are older and don't get used a lot, is it really worth your time optimizing it for them? Another thing too is these developers are pushing out new updates, and those new updates have new tools, new features, and that takes up a lot more computing power and different things like that these older iMacs can't really quite handle. Now, while I do think it's crazy that the 2009 and 2011 iMacs, software supports so well, it is kind of frustrating that those people who had those computers, all those people are now forced to upgrade, but in the end, it might even be worth it for them. Another reason why I think that the 2013 21.5-inch iMac is one of the best-selling iMacs is when you think about people's budget and people's needs. A lot of people just need an iMac nowadays to browse the web, to play basic games, and to basically use as a computer for every once in a while. They're not using these as a daily basis, and they certainly do not need like the 4K displays, the solid-state hard drives that you can get in other iMacs. And I've tried upselling people to get those computers that are much nicer, that'll last longer. But still though, people want to get this computer because when you think about it, if you're going to buy a computer that you're only going to use a few times a week, that you just want to be good enough for your needs, you really don't need those features, and you just might as well get this for $150. Now, I know I don't have access to all of Apple's sales data and all the other companies who sell different iMacs and stuff. Well, one piece of data I can use is my own sales data. So I've sold many different iMac models from like 2013s, 2012s, 2015s, 2017s, 27 inches, you name it. And the only iMac I've had really much success selling is the 2013 iMac. And when I think about it, like the price range people are buying these computers in, they're looking for something between $100 to $200 that they're only going to use for a few times a week. They don't care that this has a HDD hard drive. They don't care that this goes up to only macOS Catalina. And at the end of the day, I don't think we should make fun of people for wanting to buy this. Maybe they only have a few $100s to spend, and this computer is good enough for them. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and happy geeking out with you.